Okay, so I realized that I just said bye, blah, 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 but I forgot an important topic to discuss. Faubyism. So it's a new religion, and it's where it started out as a bunch of teenage girls having a group discussion on, well, shitty things that have happened in their lives and their problems. It's kind of like a premenstrual thing, I guess. But males are welcome, but mostly females, simply because we have a lot of issues. Do you like to say anything?
So it started when we were waiting for our director to start play rehearsals. And basically what happened was just an outpouring of emotion to each other where we just talked about crap that's happened and realized that a lot of us have had basically the same shit happen to us.
Yeah.
So I think it'd be a good idea if we did a live stream like once a week and talk to people.
This one is a serious matter on Faubyism, and I was probably the first one to talk.
Why don't you go ahead and share?
It's not a happy subject. I screwed myself over, honestly. Well, he had as much to do with it as I did, but it's mostly me. I got myself into a predicament. I went into a depression to where I just couldn't feel anything at all. I tried to overdose, but my acquaintance, Nisa, stopped me, and the next morning I was throwing my guts out, and it was very awful. I couldn't even hold down like one peanut butter cracker. I actually prayed to God for the first time in like forever, but it was not a happy prayer. It was, I prayed to God that I hope I ran off the road or someone collided with me and I hydroplaned or something flipped and hit a tree and died. I hated myself. I felt like nobody cared about me. And that went on for like 2 years. So, yeah. I met this guy at the park and he showed some interest in me. So I was like, hey, he cares. Oh my God, somebody actually cares. We ended up exchanging numbers and he tried to get me to come over. But once it dawned on me what could happen, I freaked out. First emotion I've probably felt in a while. And I lied so much in this. I was trying to think of some way to get myself out of the situation that I got myself into. So, I had one of my friends with me. I asked her 6 times if she's sure she wanted to go, and she said, yeah, I wanted to do something fun tonight, so.
This, by the way, was not me.
She's not my friend anymore. She's just a whore. She's a
If any of you
she studies horticulture. Horticulture. Horticulture.
Blitz.
Anyways. She didn't get the hint that I didn't want to go, so we ended up going. They'd been drinking, but not so bad as to where they were drunk off their asses or anything. And when we got to his house, him and his mom got into it. He lied to her, told her that I was his DD, which, if anyone doesn't know what that means, because at the time I didn't know what it meant. It was designated driver, because I'm stupid and blonde. I'm a natural blonde. I ramble, sorry. And she left, and we were at the table, and first we were like talking about Trident, because there was gum on the table, and next thing I know, he was pulling me upstairs to his room, and things got really bad from there. I said no and told him to stop, but he just told me to shh. And then in the end, he was like, kind of a jerk. He told me to go get myself cleaned up and put on my clothes and get back to bed. But I needed to go home that night, but he wouldn't take me home. And then while I'm cleaning myself up, my friend and that other random guy who was his friend, who she had been, with, come in there and freaked me out even worse than I already was. So I just kind of huddled there for a moment while everybody was kind of in the bathroom. It's creepy and weird. And ended up, just going. First, I was laying in bed and everything, and he was snoring excessively loud. And I was trying to get up without him noticing. He woke up once, and I just looked at him. I was like, I'm going to the restroom. And went in there, and I went and got my friend. I was like, you need to get your ass up and get your clothes on, and you need to call somebody right now. I don't care who you call, but we need to get out of here. I'm not staying here. Well, as we're going down the stairs, we're about to go into the garage, and his mom comes home, which I didn't know what to do. So I lied. Which I feel bad, because she's the sweetest lady I probably think I've met in my life. I told her that I had church in the morning, that I really needed to get home, so she said, yeah, I can take you home. She talked to me, she thanked me for bringing her son home safely, and made me feel like dirt. Not intentionally, of course, but made me feel like dirt. And I had her drop me off like almost a mile away from my house. Cried the whole way home, and all my friend did was, you don't think I'm in pain too? You need to stop crying, blah blah blah. When we finally get to my house, we had to crawl back through a window, and she couldn't get through, so I had to use all my strength basically to push her through my window. And I have little noodle arms, and really it was hard. I don't have good upper body strength anyway, so it was hard for me to get back through the window. She didn't even help me through the window. She came and got on Facebook while I sat there and cried some more. And she acted like it wasn't even a big deal, but it was a very big deal to me. I felt like the biggest whore, even though that was my first time. I hated myself. I wouldn't look at myself in the mirror. I don't know. I felt like nobody would ever want to be with me ever again. Just kind of started to get over it. My sister came over. We were watching Easy A, which made me cry. It's not a sad movie, but it made me cry because it made me think about myself. And then my ex-boyfriend calls me, and he was with that guy that happened with. And they were at a party, and they put me on speakerphone and tried to make me look like an idiot. And then my ex-boyfriend calls me and laughed in my face and made me feel 20 million times worse than I already did. So as you can imagine, I was kind of even more into depression. He come over later, and I tried talking to him. He wouldn't even look at me. He wouldn't let me even put my hand on his shoulder or anything. He wouldn't even comfort me when I was crying, even though I guess he didn't understand in my point of view. I ended up getting back with him, even though he was like a big whiny baby. All he ever did was fight. He called me on break at work just to fight with me. I then went to Sylvania Park because my brother had baseball practice. And my childhood sweetheart, I've loved him forever. Really have. He's been my best friend forever. He's always heard all my problems, and I always told him everything. He was there. We started hanging out again. He actually made me feel better, because he didn't know. Well, my boyfriend at the time called and flipped out on me because he heard Blake talk in the background, which all I did was ask for him to hand me the basketball, and he said sure. Flipped out on me, told me what a whore I was, and said that we were never ever getting back together. Within a few days later, he texted me and was like, can we get back together? I said, sorry, I'm taken. Because that was May 20th of 2011, and me and Blake got each other's numbers again. He made me feel better that day, and we talked till morning. I still didn't tell him about what had happened. We ended up getting together May 22nd, 2011 at 2:34 in the afternoon. We've been together ever since. We're now engaged. And I ended up not telling him until I had to meet his dad for the first time, which was at McDonald's. So I just pulled him outside, and I thought he would hate me and wouldn't want to be with me because of it, and he told me that it didn't matter what had happened because that's in the past, and all that matters is I'm with him now, and I'm forgiven for everything. That's not the sad version, but that is my getting through it version.
Do you want to do a part 2 and I'll tell mine? That way we don't have them here for like 20 minutes. So there will be a part 2.
Yeah, where Taylor shares her story. Mine was for any girl who had been out there and had some kind of the same shit happen to them, you know.
Mine will basically be for anyone who's had to go through the same stuff as me.
But to highlight some things in my life on that moment of road of depression.
Please don't be douches, please. Like, seriously.
Yeah, that's how it started. Stupid guy who I was dating for a year and a month left me for my best friend. So, I ended up cutting myself. I tried to overdose. So it was awful. Those are just some things. If you ever get in depression, I really don't recommend doing any of that. It doesn't help, I promise. Neither does trying to drown yourself in a swimming pool or a bathtub. It doesn't help at all. Because you end up, because you can't kill yourself. I mean, you could. You had like a gun or a knife and you really wanted to go through with it. But yeah. But that's my little sad, pathetic story. But I'm okay. I'm okay now. Getting married, and gotta set the date. Should be getting my engagement ring next weekend, so yay, happy. Anyway, so this is my story, and this is Faubyism, so